Another edition of the Forecast Factor. This is where we look at the synergy between the weather and consumers and retailers and retail advertising.
Yes.
I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno, along with our business weather analyst Paul Walsh. Paul, last month we were chatting about the cold coming at the end of October, and it did. And how does that affect consumers and retailers?
It had a dramatic impact in terms of driving demand for things like fall outerwear. We saw 15 to 20% increases in demand as we got into the end of October. So the warm weather at the beginning of the month sort of had people holding back in terms of their spending. When the weather turned cold, it was Katie bar the door. People were running out and buying it outerwear, and retailers really benefited from the fact that people were finally feeling cold and they were out spending.
All right, so cold is the theme of this next Forecast Factor. Just came out of a cold weekend. We're going into a cold Thanksgiving week here. How is that going to affect what people are buying?
It's going to have a huge impact in terms of shaping how people are thinking about spending their hard-earned dollars at the start of the holiday season. So for Black Friday, as people are lined up in their parkas and in their mukluks and their stocking caps, when they break through the doors, they're going to be looking for apparel. And so this year, I think we're going to see at the start of the season a very, very strong year for retailers that are selling all things that are seasonal, especially apparel. It's going to be a big start to the holiday season for them.
We're talking cold weather, so we're talking cold weather apparel.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Winter apparel, outerwear, hats, gloves, even boots are going to go very, very strong at the start of the season.
Whether or not snow becomes a factor, it's all about the cold.
It is. Where the snow will become a factor as we move through the holiday season for two basic reasons. Number one of the biggest negative impacts for retailers would be a snowstorm on a weekend, because that keeps people from actually shopping. And those sales are not necessarily made up. The other factor is the fact that this year, the holiday shopping season is a week less than it was last year. And there's only 4 weekends instead of 5. So any snow we get is going to be particularly impactful in a negative way to retailers. So what we're advising our retail customers is to make sure that you are advertising very heavily when the weather is good. So you can take advantage of all of those opportunities, because there'll be fewer opportunities because there's less time this year.
Exactly.
Yes.
Paul Walsh, thank you as always.